hello, everyone. I'm like that lady with the, that little clip I do right before the show. Boy, I have crazy hair right now. I was planning on putting on some headphones, so it didn't matter. But we still got about 10 minutes till the LNC meeting. Fortunately, I haven't had dinner yet. So I got my nachos since I anticipate that it will be entertaining. But I just dived right into it, didn't I? So welcome everyone who is coming a few minutes early. We'll just chit chat a bit. Let me do the YouTuber stuff. I really would appreciate it if you would subscribe. And also follow me on Twitter at Karen Ann Harlos. And last but not least, of course, I would appreciate it if you'd become one of my patrons at patreon.com/Pink Flame of Liberty. Also, what do I have on? I have on a Better Convention shirt that I'm sure LP National is selling. And that is... Oh, and I got stain on it. Yeah, I already got stains on it. That means it's well loved. I got spaghetti stains on it. You can tell I wear this a bit. I don't even know what the hell that is. Gotta bleach it because this just came out of the wash with stains on it. Oh my God. Anyway... Freedom Calls Embezzlement is Theft. You can get yours at my Teespring store. Let me see if I can bring that up so that you guys can see it. Let me just give it a second. The Teespring store is in the show notes, but there you go. You can get it right there. Freedom Calls Embezzlement is Theft. We also have a laptop sticker that I got. I am like so bummed that I stained mine already. Definitely got to bleach it. But in any event, I would appreciate it. And if you want this for convention, Teespring can take a bit unless you're willing to pay for quick shipping. But, why do that? Just get it now and you will get it in time. I would super appreciate it personally, but also... I think it's very fitting for this convention. Now, what else was I going to say? So, the LNC meeting, that's what we're covering. I had just taken off this boho sweater, too, because, yeah, I'm in the basement. It's kind of cold. In any event, the agenda for the LNC meeting has been posted. It's going to start with some executive session, which will, be boring for a bit, but we can listen in on what everyone is saying. Problem is, a certain parliamentarian usually goes to these meetings, and I try to keep my show a certain parliamentarian free zone, not because they aren't a great parliamentarian, because they are. It's just personal reasons. But we'll see. If it's an interesting conversation, we'll keep it up. Otherwise, we'll go on an intermission until they get back. I do encourage you guys to ask questions, make your comments in chat. I will try to put, a good deal of them on the screen. Now, because sometimes let me get a drink here. Sorry, I was stuff on my face right before this. Because sometimes I have problems getting in these meetings. Let's see if the room is open yet. So I'm going to this other screen here. And let's see if I can join the Zoom. Waiting for host to start the meeting. But how do I get... Oh, it's connecting. And they're using AI transcription tool. Suppose that's for the minutes problem. Generally not a great idea.
Not. It's just it was a setting that kicked on.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you didn't hear. I didn't hear. Thank you, yeah. Evan. I wasn't trying to interrupt your meeting. Let me go on mute, please.
We haven't started yet.
Okay, but yeah, I'm doing a show, so I don't want to interrupt your meeting. Sorry about that. Thank you for indulging me.
But yeah, I'm not using the AI thing. Actually, if there's a way for me to turn it off.
Yeah, it's not very helpful.
It's supposed to be a thing that if you ask a question, there it is. Stop companion. It's supposed to, if you're in the chat, the companion is to get caught up on something or something like that. I just click OK.
Yeah, I've used it in like job related things before, and it's pretty bad in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it improves every day, I'm sure. But you know my opinion of AI lately for other reasons that have nothing to do with party meetings, but certain documents that have been written. And I'll shut up with that. Okay, I am off of being on microphone with them. Will someone who's watching the stream let me know if you see the Zoom chat? I would appreciate it if you'd let me know. I'm going to go to my YouTube channel on my phone and see if it's showing. But any of you guys who are watching, I would really, really appreciate it. I'm going to here. Whoops. It's doing my music. Let's go ahead. I want to see if you guys can see the screen. Tell me in chat, please.
All right. How's it going, everybody?
We still have quite a few people missing.
Okay.
We have quorum, I believe, but still quite a few people missing. There's Pat Ford.
Okay, you can see it. I can see it on my YouTube screen. I am going to, I don't know what you guys prefer. Do you prefer the meeting to be full screen? I think so, but I can flip it where I'm full screen
Lawrence,
and
thank
they're
you so much
tiny,
for
but I
coming.
think you
Your
like...
item is number 4. We have 2 standing items we have to take care of first, and then one more item that hopefully shouldn't take too long.
Sounds good, no problem.
How's it going, Derek? Thank you for joining us.
I'm going to put myself on mute while I'm feeding my face. I'm seeing we have quite a few watchers. I'd appreciate comments.
All right, Mr. Secretary, do we have enough to get started?
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and get rolling.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, everybody. It is April 19th, Sunday at 7:30 p.m. My name is Stephen Nikala, Chairman of the Libertarian National Committee, and I'll be calling this meeting to order. Mr. Secretary, whenever you'd like to start with roll call, please.
Mr. Bowler. Mr. Bowler. Mr. Boss. There's Mr. Bowler entering the room now. Mr. Boss.
And hello, Jack.
I'm here, but I can't help. I'm sorry. I'm here. I can't hear you. And I'm going back, logging off and logging back in.
Okay. Mr. Dar.
Here?
No, that wasn't. Hold on a second. I need to make you co-host so that you can approve people.
Okay.
Because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get to the thingy. The roll call. Okay, Mr. Bowler.
Present.
Mr. Bost. Mr. Chatterton. Mr. Chatterton.
Present. Can you hear me?
Now I can, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Tone.
Present.
Mr. Dar. Vice Chair Dar.
Present, and Mr. Boss should be in now.
Mr. Bost.
Present.
Thank you. Mr. Dassing.
Here.
Thank you. Mr. Bracco. Mr. Bracco. Mr. Ford. Paul, did Ford make it back into the room?
I do like the way Evan calls roll
He has not
better than the way
come
I
back.
used to.
Mr. Weir.
I've said this multiple times,
Here.
but I do like it.
Ms. Robeson.
Robson, here.
Ms. Engelhardt.
Here.
Mr. Neville.
Present.
Mr. Lamb. Mr. Martin.
Present.
Mr. McGee.
Present.
Mr. Johnson. I am present. Mr. Koffel.
Present.
Mr. Hirsch.
Here.
Treasurer Redpath.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson.
Here.
Mr. Vincent. Mr. Watkins.
Here.
Chair Nikela.
I'm here.
Mr. Chair. Let's see. Did Mr. Ford make it back into the room? Mr. Ford?
I am not seeing him yet.
Okay. Mr. Chair, we have 16 voting members.
All right, we have quorum. Next up is opportunity for public comment. 10 minutes. Is there anybody who would like to be recognized for public comment? Mr. Jacobs, then Ms. Griffiths. Mr. Jacobs?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. I have to say that I've seen something that was a little bit disturbing. Normally, we would get notification of hearings on the business list. For the last two hearings, we have not had. And I know that in one case, I certainly came down largely in favor of the LNC's position on a case that the LNC lost.
No one cares.
I might have
no one
been
cares.
able to add more to that. Maybe
you weren't
change some
asked to
opinions
speak. No one
had I had
cares.
more time before I knew that this would be turning.
You're
that this would
much
be
more
coming out.
important than
I
other
would
people
hope that
think you.
this is
You
not
think you're much
repeated.
more important than
That
other people
notice
think
for
you
any
are.
future hearings in this term or in future terms be posted on the business list. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jacobs. I will take note of that. Ms. Griffiths and then Ms. Leatherman. Ms. Griffiths.
Good evening, everyone. I'm commenting as both a member of the Libertarian Party and the Regional Vice Chair of North America for the International Alliance of Libertarian Parties. I am aware that Mr. Martin's LLM put together a purported dossier for you this evening that is full of things that are patently untrue. I cannot go through all of them, but a few that are worth noting. First of all, there has been no money ever exchanged between the LP, unless you all have made a decision of which I'm unaware, the International Alliance of Libertarian Parties, LPA, or LPA's spending committee. This is not any kind of issue where there are financial transactions occurring. There is also no malign foreign influence in the IALP. These are all organizations and these are all parties that are working to combat the very problems that Mr. Martin claims to want to address, which have to do with massive global governance. If there were a malign influence trying to wield its will against the US LP, then one would imagine that we should be combating it and that we should be combating it globally. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I am waiting in line if you guys are wondering.
And so
I am going to give
I
public
hope
comment.
to have everyone vote no on that resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Griffiths. Next is Ms. Leatherman and then Mr. Hardy. Ms. Leatherman.
Yes, I would like to comment on the motion to form a special investigatory committee based on the dossier that was recently released. So I just want to say that this entire thing has gotten ridiculous. Every single month, it seems like we have members of the party, in some cases LNC members, being accused of one thing or another. First, it was that they were Soros-funded DNC operatives. Okay, last month it was that we had a bunch of members who were violent Antifa insurgents who had to be rooted out. Now it's that
have no echo
we have
now.
a bunch of NATO-aligned foreign agents infiltrating the party. Hey, I know where this started. This actually started because of a post that was deleted off of the LP National account, which, from what I understand, was they were getting absolutely flamed in the comments. It was highly unpopular, so the decision was made to take it down. It's not the first time that has happened. It's like it's a thing that happens. This led to rumors that a few specific members, one of whom is in region rep, were responsible alongside the country of Georgia. This spun into rumors that there were foreign agents aligned with the IALP.
And welcome everyone who's watching.
Exerting undue influence on the sovereignty of the Libertarian Party, and has now spun into this whole idea that there are all these foreign agents that are infiltrating the party for nefarious purposes. Goals are not entirely unclear, but yeah, in any event, this has gotten ridiculous. This has led to accusations made against friends and associates of mine that I frankly think border on slander at this point. And this needs to be looked at for what it is. This is an attempt to just cause obstruction and prevent the LNC from getting anything done. Okay, this stuff needs to be rejected. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Harding and then Ms. Harlos. Mr. Harding.
Just excuse me, Mr. Chair. Mr. Ford should be now in the meeting.
Okay.
All right. So, the Red Scare never really stopped, and that's been a core problem in a variety of American political spaces for a significant period of time. The rhetoric espoused by people like Mr. Martin, Chatterton, and Tone is absolutely repugnant to the libertarian ethos and the platform itself. They are spinning up rumors of foreign involvement so they can ignore the fact that they are flooding the zone with a bunch of Nazi propaganda, including today outright defending the state of Nazi Germany by saying that it was okay to promote Erwin Rommel of the Wehrmacht by saying whites are 10 to 12% of the world population. We deserve countries of our own like every other people do. Germany, its history and its culture will be erased by people who hate it and don't belong there. You think that's racist? It offends you? We don't care. Go fuck yourself, globalist. So
I'm gonna say that.
Okay, it's on your Twitter, so get over it.
No, it's not.
And don't interrupt.
No, it's not. Liar.
And I have it archived, so you can shut the fuck up and stop
Hey,
interrupting.
let's not use
use
language, or otherwise I'm gonna boot you.
All right.
Hey, I didn't say that.
So as I was saying,
I say you're lying because I would never say that.
These motions are openly designed to distract from authentic libertarianism and openly designed to like poison the well, to say that even Stephen Nikela himself helped with the foreign influence operation on Facebook in a sweaty ukulele video, and otherwise promote the idea that if anybody is remotely left of these far-right Hitlerites, that they are, you know, somehow somebody who should be expunged from the party. Every element of the platform is threatened as long as, so to speak, caucus and its members exist in leadership positions. So, that's my statement.
I moved to close public comment. Posted? If I made any statement like that, it would be because I was hacked. This guy just made it up.
Close public comment.
Point of order. The dossier, which is factual.
No more crosstalk. Ms. Harlos, and then we've only got about 3 minutes left, and then Mr. Scott.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll try to keep it short. The other commenters dealt with some things I'd like to talk about, but I'd like to just deal with, and I'm not meaning this personally, to the regional representatives. I have now conferred with 2 states in the region, and these highly inflammatory things that are being posted on behalf of Region 1 are in violation of the Region 1 agreement, because 2 states, and one of which I can name is Colorado, have never been conferred on anything. So they are absolutely rogue and should not even be on the agenda because they're in violation of the regional agreement. The states have to be conferred with. That's the whole purpose of regional representation. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Mr. Scott.
I'm assuming I'm going to talk later. Just curious.
Yeah, no, we have an agenda item that includes both you and council, Mr. Hall.
Right. Okay.
All right, it looks like it is it for public comment. We'll now be moving on to the adoption of the agenda. The chair is now entertaining a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Going once, going twice, going three times. Any objection to the agenda as presented? Hearing none, the agenda is adopted. Next up is Mr. Ford with the committee update. Mr. Ford.
Can you hear me okay now, Mr. Nikela?
Yes.
Fine, thank you.
Why do we always have
I'm
to
gonna
get
be
the
motioning to
nose
go into
cam?
executive session
I
to
do
go over
not
some
want to
business
look up
details,
Pat Ford's
but a
nose.
couple of very important points.
I don't want to look up anyone's
I
nose.
spoke with hotel management. We've made them aware that we've got several late conventions and that folks literally just found out this weekend whether or not they'd be attending Grand Rapids. So the date has been extended, we're saying to April 28th, in order for you to choose your hotel rooms. I will say that please, if you're going, do this quickly. It's sort of hammer time. And I'll repeat, and I say this with love, because this affects me personally as well, that most of the hotels are not asking for a deposit. So if you know you're going, you've been elected as a delegate, please you make your reservation and you'll be able to make your financial arrangements when you get there. There are a variety of marvelous speakers coming. What you'll see, we're finally nailing down all the travel arrangements, who's coming in when. Almost all of the speakers that you see on that board will be engaged in a breakout session. And that includes people like Ammon Bundy, and that includes Ford Fisher, and it's going to be amazing. We need your support. So we're hoping you'll sign up for packages. We hoping you'll sign up for events. Gonna be a lot going on that weekend. And that phone number, as I like to say, that phone number that's at the top of the website is my cell phone number. So if you've got questions, every convention Sunday, today I got about a dozen phone calls, which was great. Answered a lot of questions, solved a lot of issues. I appeared at Utah's convention remotely yesterday. I want to help, so let me know how I can help. With that in mind, I would like to motion that we go into executive session to discuss the ongoing business details of the convention.
You don't motion something.
All right, there's a motion. Is there
It's
a second?
my pet peeve. I know I'm being pedantic.
Second.
Move something.
Any objection to going to executive session?
I'd like to amend it if we could to also include the legal update and staff contracts, salaries, the next couple of items. That way we can just knock it all out.
I'm friendly to that amendment.
All right, is there a second?
One issue that I have with that is I'll have to leave the room and come back in to bring in and then have somebody return me as host to bring in the two people. Because I don't think Mr. Scott can be in there for the convention committee executive session or the contract work.
Well, the legal update would be before that. So he would come in after the convention update.
The convention committee is right now, and then
correct.
So would you say are you suggesting to move the legal up, have them come in, do that first, and then do the convention committee, remove them from the room, and then
yeah, if that makes it easier for you and that's okay with Mr. Ford, we could do that.
Is that acceptable, Mr. Chair? That's we
fine.
Bring the two into the executive session room, handle that business first, and then remove them from the room to do the other two items?
Yeah. All right. So we have a motion. Was there a second?
Second.
All right. We have a motion to take up legal report update with counsel and executive session with Mr. Scott and Mr. Hall, and stay into executive session for the convention update committee report. Is there any objection to that motion?
And the taking up of the employment contract.
Oh, and the contract as well. Okay. All right. If there's no objection, going once, going twice, going three times sold. Is there any objection to go into executive session? Hearing none. Mr. Secretary would like to prepare the room for us.
Yep. I'm getting there.
And just an FYI, Rob, I missed a message by him, but he did mention he's getting on a flight back home and can't attend the meeting.
I believe I have everybody. No, I do not. Hold on one second, please. Derek, where is Oliver?
Maybe we should raise our hands when we start doing this.
Here, Mr. McMahon. I don't know if you can see me.
Is there... Oops, sorry, Mr. Dassing. Did I add you?
I wish they would say how long this is expected to take.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Karen Ann, or somebody, is there somebody that I could make the host for a minute?
Yeah, you can, Evan. I'm going to be here the whole time.
Okay.
Recording stopped.
Okay, and then if you can add me to the breakout room.
Okay, let me see if I got added as host. Did you do that already?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Let me just find you on here.
Can the chat be turned on?
Assign to. You have it as room 1?
I think so.
Okay.
Karen Ann, I don't see the link for myself.
Oh, yep. I actually, can you add Mr. Bost?
Okay. Okay. Is there any other LNC members in here? Nope, it looks like they're all gone. And I saw someone asked about the chat. That's a master setting on the LNC side, and I believe they've decided not to have chats on during the meeting.
But when they're in a secret meeting, why can't the rest of us chat?
I don't have controls to the LNC master account, and it doesn't belong to me. Even if I did, I wouldn't go against their wishes.
We'll just have to chat with our voices.
Mr. Ford is still listed as being present.
Oh, let me find him.
And Karen Ann, please ask them if they will turn on the chat. I just don't see any reason why we can't talk to each other while they're in their meeting.
I can't interrupt. I have no way of speaking with them. I don't see Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford, are you in this room? Because I think it might just be an artifact. Because I'm looking at a different panel than you guys.
Pat Ford can pass along the message.
He was there, but yeah, now he's gone from the list.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Might have been an artifact.
Yeah, the room assignment list also refreshes faster. I just know that from before.
Yeah, if we're having a nice little casual chat here, I can just say that the tweet I discussed is archived, and anybody who wants to can find it. I posted it again on my Twitter account, and
it's mask off. Like, this is just mask off ethno-nationalism at this point. And the fact that someone that posts or runs a caucus that posts things like that was allowed to be on the LNC.
But I muted my mic,
I'm saying
so
this
I could
as someone
still
who
do my
was friends
show.
with the person in question for years. He's turned into someone that I don't even recognize anymore. It's definitely upsetting, to say the least.
And like, you know, I would have preferred to have keep it a little bit more civil, but it was satisfying to tell that like weird fucking narcoleptic cunt to shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, I was internally cheering for that. He's a terrible person. Like, this is, I feel like what he's doing is actual slander at this point. Like, accusing people of being foreign agents, and then, like, the lies he said about our organization. Because they cannot accept that what we're doing, like, okay, LP Alliance is at its core a delegate recruiting group. Okay, we call people off of call lists of Chase Oliver donors or former members who left,
and if you guys are wondering why I am not talking
national delegates, we
in that room with everyone else,
people to national convention.
I don't want to abuse the privilege that I'm streaming.
But
and also the co-host privilege. So I respect that, and I'm going to shut up in that room, and I'm only going to deal with if someone
this is what they do
misbehaves.
See,
yes,
but
Trindle, and they are.
Need us to be something or not.
See, but here's the thing: like you're saying this is where I diverge, because you're saying it's like now bordering on slander. First off, this is slander and libel and a bunch of other shit. Second off, it's not now. It's always. He's for a long time been trying to say that anybody he doesn't like is a communist, and that therefore, like using the caucus account, whoever is using that, saying like, whoever disagrees with them is a communist and therefore deserves to die, or at the very least be like purged from the country. These are Nazis. These people have no problem with libel and slander as long as it achieves their goals. Like, you know, that's part of Hitler's whole thing. He would call anybody who disagreed with him the Lügenpresse.
They are
and anybody who
in
like
executive
disagreed
session,
with his
so
plays for
members are
Lebensraum
just
would
chatting
be the
amongst
Lügenpresse.
themselves.
And this is exactly the play that people like, you know, Andrew Chatterton and Austin Martin have been using for a long time now. They are doing exactly the
you are
Steve
having
Bannon,
a much more peaceful life now.
Epstein-linked,
So am I.
tactic of flooding the zone. These people are doing that because it's the only thing they know. They know how to flood the zone. They know how to just batter your timeline with a bunch of bullshit.
Let me
and that's
go
what they're
admit.
doing. They've got like so many RTs compared to their actual original content that it's hard to find their original content without doing a direct search. And all of the people they platform are either Nazis or Nazi adjacent.
That's part of my co-host
duties. This is ultimately the kind of thing that has for a long time been going on in libertarian circles. Like they've been either casually or openly supporting Nazis, like, you know, the paleo strategy and fucking like the whole idea of supporting David Duke and Pat Buchanan. Like, this is not a new strategy, and it's not something that should have been allowed to fester as long as it was. But, you know, I'm just the evil, mentally ill, furry Antifa over here who's been exposing a lot of this stuff for a long time to basically, like, a very limited support. Because if you support me, you're supporting somebody evil, and you can't do that.
Jeremiah, what do you think we can do structurally or culturally to address this? You know, I appreciate
this is actually a really good conversation.
Ultimately, this shouldn't be about personalities.
Right.
So
I'm glad you asked.
Culture problem in the Libertarian Party.
I'm glad you asked. Here's something, like, this party loves its resolutions. How about a resolution condemning ethno-nationalism? How about a resolution condemning...
I've been involved since 1990. Jeremiah, could I...
You've been breaking up, sorry.
If you don't mind. I just wanted to put this in context, sorry. Since I've been involved in the 1990s, I've seen the party consistently underplay libertarian ideology and just sort of assume that people that we, you know, elect and elevate to positions of power in the party are libertarian. We don't have any kind of good screening for that. And also, we've consistently tended to outreach more and have our messaging appeal more to people on the right than to people on the left. And I think we've seen, you know, with past years, the Mises Caucus and so forth, the natural results of these two problems or shortcomings in the party that we haven't addressed. So I'm curious to hear you or others have any solutions for either or both of these issues beyond just passing resolutions or things that are sort of momentary. Structurally, culturally, how can we change to address this problem?
I don't think you need to raise your hand, Kelly. I think you just say words. I'm doing that. I'm an asshole, though. Kelly? Weird.
Hi,
Yeah,
can you guys hear me?
Sorry, go ahead.
There we go.
So I've suggested this before, is that this might be extreme, but we're coming on a time where there's a lot of people who are suffering from mental health issues. Obviously, Austin Martin is suffering from serious mental health issues and or childhood trauma that is causing for him
AI
to
psychosis.
have this bizarre behavior. I've been experiencing false accusations from him for the past 3 years. And it never stops. It'll never end until he gets help. But to alleviate that, I'm like, do we need to start having mental health screenings? Do we need to start having civic screenings? Because now we're seeing that Bryce Thon doesn't know who is Abraham Lincoln and what he looks like. So, like, do we need to have a basic civics screening? Like, and this almost sounds statist, but is it self-regulatory for the LP to do something like this? Because things have just gotten so out of control with the accusatory behavior.
I'm only half joking when I say we need to, in order to be, I don't know, serve on a committee or serve on subcommittee, you need to pass a test on libertarian philosophy with a score of 80% or better. You know, the Nolan type, Rothbardian, early Rothbardian derived libertarian philosophy. I'm really sick of people who don't understand their own philosophy, trying to make decisions for the LP.
See, and here's the thing, like, for structural change, there needs to be platform planks against, you know, like open sorts of like ethno-nationalism, open sorts of theocratic fascism, things like that. There needs to be actual requirements that you oppose those things, because if libertarianism is allowed to foster the sorts of people who can overtly, you know, antagonize their platform and also their existing and previous, you know, actions and beliefs and the legacy of libertarianism as a whole, then the party is fucking useless. If it cannot have a platform itself that self-regulates this kind of thing out with strong statements that you must oppose these sorts of things, as though the non-aggression principle doesn't already do so, but like they don't follow that. And as, you know, John Ponte discovered, quite a few of them didn't even sign it fully. You know, and that's why Bryce Thon Tone is threatening to sue John Ponte, because of course that's what this board does. It threatens legal action if it doesn't get what it wants. These people are aggressionists, and their aggression is based on age-old sorts of allegiances to ethno-nationalism, theocracy, and other sorts of things contributory to palingenetic ultranationalism and the fascist society that results from that.
I think most of us
if we
are
don't
on the
say
spectrum.
in the platform and in the requirements to be a Libertarian Party member that you also have to be, you know, a fucking libertarian, then we're gonna keep getting people like this. And if there also needs to be a way to remove people who aren't. And
I know, Jack, I have no idea
structurally among some
how
of us
Region 1 will look.
that
I'm
if
not
there's
terribly
a person
involved.
On the LNC who's a bad actor, there
I've
needs to be a
heard
much
about
easier
some
way for members
discussions,
to be
but
able to
I'm pretty
recall
much
them.
staying out of it.
And that can't be, or rather, that shouldn't just be a privilege that lies with the LNC or just lies with a particular state or whatever. I've heard many people say, you know, if there's somebody on the LNC, and initially I was lukewarm on this, but if there's somebody on the LNC who's not behaving well, even if they're, you know, a state rep or whatever, there can be a high enough member threshold to have them go.
Yes.
Yeah, Austin's behavior has made that very clear, because, like, I was very torn on this too, because, like, I mean, when the McCardle-controlled LNC was in power, like, there are region reps who would have been removed had they had that power. However, like, when there's someone who's straight up, I mean, he has straight up said that he's bringing NAP violations, quote unquote, or he's going to bring NAP violations against members who disagree with him. Like, when someone is straight up threatening members of the party they're supposed to be representing, yeah, there needs to be a way to remove people like that.
The non-aggression principle. Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the box wasn't lighting up. In any event, I discussed at length the non-aggression principle with David Nolan. It refers back to the situation that existed politically when the party was founded and has rather little to do with what is generally being discussed as NAP violations. The original issue going back to 1972 was that the United States was having political disagreements. To be precise, we were having 3 or 4 political bombings a day, including at least 3 inside the halls of Congress. And the NAP was the statement, we are not here to change the government by violence. We are here to do peaceful politics. And that is all it talks about. It doesn't talk about taxes. It doesn't talk about foreign relations. It talks about what libertarians are going to do to advance the party, and it would improve America, namely to do peaceful politics.
Yeah, and like the other half of it is there are so many people who just don't want to acknowledge the roots of a lot of these political alliances, and they don't want to acknowledge the roots of a lot of these sorts of people. Like when Konkin discussed the fact that the Libertarian Party was already compromised by the Koch money, and the fact that, like, you know, a lot of these people who were involved in the initials seemed to dislike what libertarianism was actually supposed to be, he wasn't wrong. And that Koch money traces back to their, you know, their Nazi oil refinery. And the whole deal with that should be, we should understand that when these sorts of people are the bankroll, when these people are the money, their message will be directly in support of that money. And they will eventually, even if they start out from libertarian ends, end in the same sorts of nationalist garbage that the Nazis were, because that's what the family is. Like, so when it comes down to it, we need to understand that sometimes saying no to funding is good. Sometimes a fundraising variety, for instance, might be illegal, and we shouldn't have a joint fundraising thing with the MAGA brainworms guy who apparently cut the dick off a raccoon. So that's something else weird. Like, we're dealing with fundamentally evil people who should, you know, be opposed, not allowed to be inculcated into a weird cult of personality under somebody who gets starry-eyed while having lunch with a convicted rapist and a pedophile. The culture needs to change, and there needs to be certain requirements in the platform and in certain strictures to prevent this from ever happening again, or, I repeat myself, the Libertarian Party is fucking useless. Because they have to be able to, like, remove people who are bad for this and never allow it to get this bad again. And if it does, then the Libertarian Party itself is proving its internal flaws toward the right and specifically authoritarianism. Go ahead.
Jeremiah, it's something that the rest of the room just may not know. This isn't true for every region. But just know that the LNC does have the authority to remove the Region 1 representatives. It's in the Region 1 agreement, and they've chosen not to. So their hands are not tied when it comes to Region 1. So just that's something for all of my embarrassments with Region 1, the super region, which I've owned up to and apologized up and down for, the one good thing I did was write in that original agreement, and I think it should be in every regional agreement to protect the LNC, that the LNC does have the same removal authority. It's a legal liability not to have that, as we're seeing, because I do think that's slander. But I also wanted to correct one thing, or supplement, because George Phillies is correct about what David Nolan said, but I want to supplement that to say that the non-aggression... the pledge, I don't want to call it the pledge, but the same wording of the pledge is currently in the platform. So I think the discussion before, instead of calling it the pledge, you should call it a violation of the platform, because 4.0 emissions got amended, I don't know, 4 years ago, that says in every matter, we advocate the consistent application of the principle of the non-initiation of coercion, physical force, or fraud. So you don't need the pledge in order to make this point. It's in our platform.
Yeah, and go.
Oh, if I can ask Karen, do you know who on the LNC currently is either standing in the way or not taking action with removing Region 1?
I will have no idea. There's never been a motion, but they're aware that they can do it. So I I just think it's non-action, and now it's a month before convention, so no one's going to do anything a month before convention.
I have brought this up. I've brought this up with Paul Dar and a couple of the region reps multiple times, and they keep saying they either don't have the votes to do it, or it's too close to convention. Or, like, my point was, like, even if they don't have the votes, just get people on the record leaving bad actors on like this. Like, the fact that they're not even trying is, in my opinion, kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
or also that it
shows that it can't
only
just be left
temporary.
up to the LNC, because
It's
a
a
lot of times there
temporary
are
removal,
political
right?
alliances where you don't want to ruffle anyone's feathers. It needs to also be up to the members to do this.
Yeah, but
force votes in order to encourage people to get on the record. There are several people who've been attempting to say, oh, we can't vote because it's too close, or we can't vote because we don't have the votes. And you should recognize that the people who are saying that, some quite prominent, are covert or surreptitious Mises Caucus supporters.
I agree with him, Amanda. I think the
I would seriously question if a removal by the LNC, even in Region 1, would not violate the bylaws. I think that
we would need to change the bylaws, yes.
I know. I think that they could certainly encourage that, but I don't believe that even with the Region 1 agreement, I think the Region 1 agreement, and if that would be enforced, would be a violation of the bylaws. And probably
and I would respectfully disagree with Mr. Jacobs, since it says an action of the state chairs can be a removal. The Region 1 agreement was signed by all of the state chairs. That is an action of the state chairs, but that would be very interesting to see how the JC would rule, and it just goes to show how two qualified parliamentarians disagree. I do respect his disagreement, but I disagree.
If the Region 1 agreement is in violation of the bylaws, then Region 1 does not exist.
Well, I disagree with you there, George. It'd be severable. It would just be that particular provision.
Does the Region 1 agreement have a severable clause?
It wouldn't be necessary.
I'm okay with Region 1 not existing, though. That's fine. I'm in Region 1, so I can say that.
Yeah, no more super regions. I think super regions need to not exist.
Which states are in Region 1?
Wisconsin, Colorado, Hawaii, Michigan, New Mexico. Kyle's talking in my ear, but he stopped.
Yeah, region.
It's so rare that Kyle feeds me things to say.
Region with
Alaska,
the soft R.
That's another one.
I mean, region is in kind of the administrative sense. There's no. We really need to end non-contiguous regions. It just doesn't.
I think we need to end regions.
I would say that regions should be actual regions, except then we'd have to be in a region with New Hampshire, which we don't want. So I'm okay with them not being geographical regions for now.
I don't see the need for regions any longer. I don't, because again, they get gerrymandered to heck, right? And region reps do not represent the people, usually sometimes even in their state, if you look at someone like Andrew Chatterton, but they certainly don't represent that region. And it's by the majority of chairs. It does not make sense how we do it. It does not make sense who gets to be a region rep. It seems like a very, very antiquated institution.
And Amanda, it's not even by a majority of the chairs. Yeah. These things have not been brought before the region. And I'm not saying it's a caucus thing. I don't think they're consulting with chairs that are of their own caucus.
I believe that.
I just think they're doing it. That ranting dossier that was put out, that was not run by anybody. And
well, it said confidential, so technically he leaked it. He's a leaker. He leaked his own dossier.
We should make a big deal of that. Yeah, that was like, couldn't even bother to edit what his LLM came out with.
And here's the other half of it. Like, the thing is, okay, first off, if their hands are tied, I'm not going to kink shame. But what we should understand is that, like, that doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter if their hands were tied, because the rest of the parties aren't. And if the party is going to allow this sort of thing to happen without forming a significant cultural pushback, I have them on record. I read the tweet and Austin got visibly agitated and started to interrupt me because I was reading what their caucus says. If we all actually used, and I keep on saying it like this because I've got, I'm bitter about it and I'm definitely a petty motherfucker. Like, ultimately, I keep handing these people dubs on a silver platter, and they will not take it. I keep handing people like the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire saying that communists deserve to die, and everybody associated with their enemies is a communist. I've got Austin Martin agreeing with that and supporting it. I've got the Liberty Plus fucks in the Nazi recruitment organization, and all of the stuff associated with that. I've got Ben Weir basically co-signing their ideas and supporting these sorts of things on a platform. I've got Jeremy Kauffman now being the official chair of New Hampshire, and he supports all of the Nazi garbage as well and says it himself while saying things like, maybe if an Epstein victim was 17, we shouldn't consider that a problem. I keep giving people all these dubs, and the latest dub is that the So to Speak caucus is on record defending the government of Nazi Germany.
Look,
if
how
the
much I've
LP
drank so
chooses
far,
to do so, they can use these dubs. I keep handing them on a silver platter, and hold these people to account. But if they don't, then it doesn't matter what's on the platform. It doesn't matter who says what. It doesn't matter where things are. They're already going to be useless because they're not going to do anything with it. So, we need to be culturally unified against the fascist scourge that's invaded the party, in order to say that, the enemy is communism and globalism, while endorsing people who wanted it to spread imperialism and hatred and death and destruction and cleansing for Lebensraum, literally with imperial armies to do so, literally supporting Rommel, who was a colonizer of North Africa for Germany. This is the mentality that they claim that they don't like. They claim that they don't want people encroaching on other countries. And then when it's their guys doing it, it's suddenly based. This is what we need to crush. And if we don't, it's fucking useless. So it doesn't matter what structural changes happen if people aren't willing to culturally back the structural change. They need to get fucking spines.
Jeremiah, have you thought about putting these dubs in a dossier? Because that might get it noticed.
I'm actually building something right now, but it's going to be an article for Liberty Centuries that I guess can be PDF'd and turned into a dossier to send to Stephen Nikela for him to do nothing with.
Yes, send it to the LNC. But you have to appear on camera looking all sweaty and
I've got some grease in my hair. I think that probably qualifies.
Ranting about how there's all these infiltrators in the party.
So yeah, that's my. I've been ranting and raving against this for a long time. Go for it. Go for it.
So I see your post about So to Speak caucus, and that's what you were referencing before. Austin's claim was that that he's not the one that posted it. Do you have the evidence to show where he is part of So to Speak?
Oh, I have quite a bit that leads to that. And one of the primary notions that leads to that is the sheer amount of times that they retweet him and say the exact same shit. If he's not involved in the caucus, then if they choose to sue me over whatever, claims here I made, then the discovery will certainly show that.
Okay.
Wait, is this about Austin being in the So to Speak caucus? Because Bryce told me he was.
Jack, I am honored, but I do not want to be on the LNC next
Even better.
term.
Okay, cool.
I think it's good for
Yeah, see,
people
I might be a
to take
cunt, but I'm a knowledgeable cunt.
Yeah, I don't know if he
just not on the
actually
LNC.
posts for the account or anything, but I
I'm
know
flattered.
that
Thank you for thinking of me.
And either way, if I was wrong about Austin specifically doing that, I'm not wrong about Tone and his caucus directly supporting these sorts of things and being supported by
also
these
clear
sorts
to
of
Jack,
people.
I would like to do it again in the future,
so
but I want some time off.
I was
from the LNC.
I was not trying to take shots at the work there. I was trying to see if
sure,
because we've got people who are asking here if there's proof on it. And so I was just trying to put that together to show folks. So thank you.
Yeah, there should be plenty. And again, I hope anyone who wants to sue me sues me because the discoveries will be funny.
Oh, he's been threatening to sue me for the past 3 years, over and over and over. But
he doesn't have money for an attorney. He lives off of public assistance.
My other concern is that
Jack, also
we're electing people at
my
national
parliamentary
convention
studies, which is about a 2-year commitment of
safe,
study for me.
or
so
have
that's another
personalities
reason.
that are avoid being disagreeable. And there's room for that, as far as you don't want someone that is just perpetually contrarian. They're almost impossible to work with, and that is a stereotype of libertarians. But it's the pendulum swung too far in the other direction, where you have people that are too agreeable, that don't have a spine, that don't make a motion to remove Region 1, that don't hold Austin Martin accountable.
Well, here's what's funny with Kelly
I just
saying,
see like an LNC right now that's
one
full of
thing I
enablers.
had was a spine.
And it's just
I
like,
think
what do we
everyone
do
will
about
agree
that at
with that.
national convention if the national
I had balls
delegates
for
continue
days.
electing people who are just too soft?
Kelly, do I strike you as agreeable? Am I an agreeable
No, you
person? Am I
strike me.
soft?
You
I have a
strike
quick
me as being balanced. Like, we
There we
need
go,
people
that's
who
fair.
are balanced, that have a balance of disagreeableness and agreeableness.
Just
Meanwhile,
like,
I'm
I
just-
can work with you and you can disagree with me at the appropriate times.
Meanwhile, I'm just unbalanced.
So
You need-
I don't know. Does anyone
You are
have any
upfront
input
about
on
what you
that?
are.
Having
Well,
attended
I
every
just-
national convention since 1998 up through 2018, I've missed the last few. I'm getting a bit old. I would suggest the first thing you need is a better set of officers. We have not had a good set of officers in quite some time, in my opinion. But I see people coming back. Hi, people. So the meeting must have ended. Or at
Oh,
least
no,
the
it's just me.
executive said.
No, it's just me, because I was only part of the executive.
Patrick, you seem to be here again. Okay, maybe they did.
That Patrick Ford has been here the whole time. I don't know if it's an artifact or if it's Pat Ford's second computer.
It belongs in a museum.
There you go.
Okay, well, as I was saying,
quick question though. Well, I guess after George.
You need to replace the current set of officers, all 4 of them. You need someone for treasurer who's going to be vigorous at pointing out what the financial situation is and where we are going. You need a secretary that posts minutes.
Hey, George, you miss me yet? You miss me yet, George?
Karen Ann, if you would drop your attention to Roberts, you were a wonderful secretary, but you had other issues, I'm afraid. And then you also need a good set of at-larges. I'm not sure where you get these.
So here's my question. Here's my question really quick to go back one person. I think somebody said that some people on the LNC should disaffiliate Region 1. Under what authority did they have that? I mean, the LNC can disaffiliate individual affiliates, but not an entire region.
That's not what was said, Nathan. I'm the one who said it, so I hope you'll let me correct that. The Region 1 agreement I wish I had it in front of me. I'm going to give it to you almost verbatim, but forgive me if it's slightly off. The Region 1 agreement gives the LNC the authority to remove the regional representatives under the same process afforded to at-large. Without opportunity for JC review, the region can then, if they disagree with the LNC, simply reappoint the same people. The region is untouched. This only has to do with representatives that are engaging in gross misconduct, because it would be the same standard, which is a pretty high bar, but it would not dissolve the region. The LNC has no authority to dissolve a region.
And so the say they ended up removing a rep. You said that the affiliates within the region could reappoint, so effectively nothing would change. And
they could reappoint, but hopefully they would take that seriously. So the reappointment is their recourse other than a JC appeal.
I mean, here's the thing, right? If a region, it's my understanding the R1 agreement also has provisions for the R1 states to just, rescind their representatives. If they don't do that, then that's kind of aligning anyway. So I would imagine that they would just reappoint anyway. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with Austin or Andrew or whatever, but I heavily dislike when affiliate decisions are made by somebody who's not the affiliate, and that I think really you just need a better contract, right? I know in previous versions of the Region 1 agreement, it took a unanimous consent of all the chairs of the region to basically get rid of somebody out of the region. I disagree with that. I think that should be not part of the agreement. And yeah, it would just be a majority vote of the chairs or whatever process within each affiliate.
Nathan, can I push back on that a little bit?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say briefly that, so I think in general, yes, the affiliate's decision should be the affiliate's decision. When there's somebody on the national committee, all of a sudden what they do redounds to all of the membership. And so that's why I went from kind of being in the position that you're articulating to thinking, all right, I can see an argument for allowing for some threshold to prompt removal of a particular representative.
But why should New York have say on Arizona business?
It's not
because
Arizona
your
business,
region,
though,
because
if it
because we're part of the national. We're part of the national party. We're part of the national party. If another region can't get their rep under control and they're causing constant disruption on the LNC and preventing anything else from getting done, it becomes everyone else's problem. I think there's a point at which, if you can't get your region rep under control and do something about a region rep that's engaging in gross misconduct, the rest of the party should be able to take action against it. Yeah. I actually think
we're all here tonight because of insane ramblings from a single person,
right,
who is trying to say that the entire half the party is this bullshit.
Right.
We're all being attacked.
And the person who's serving as a useful idiot too. The threshold needs to be high because obviously, you don't want an LNC that can just arbitrarily remove people for disagreeing. It needs to be gross misconduct, for example,
I don't think so, Jack. And Michigan wouldn't have that authority on its own. But I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that.
But Kyle, I would not say that I am here because of that. I am actually here because of Jeremiah's comments that he was talking about, going against these people that go against the platform. I would just like to say that Jeremiah has expressed many views that go against the platform. So,
but he's also not on the LNC.
Doesn't have to be. Statement was made generally.
Let me turn on my evil lighting. I'm a villain now.
Nazis,
Please tell me.
Because I'm not even part of the caucus that everybody always tries to put me into a caucus that I'm not even a part of and haven't ever mentioned. But I'm always called a Nazi because maybe I lean a little bit right on a couple things and left on other.
Have I called you a Nazi?
No, I've been called a Nazi by a lot of people, man.
Okay, so Nathan,
it gets frustrating
what
when
statements
people say
have I
Nazi.
made?
It just shuts us down, and it shuts me down from taking your side because I see what you guys are talking about.
He's defending
totally...
Rommel.
You're not a real libertarian until you're called a Nazi and a communist and a
liberal and a real libertarian
and a fascist and a
Nathan,
anarchist on the same day.
Nathan, I'm begging you, brother. Tell me what I say that's against the platform. Do it.
There are way too many to count. But
so you're not even going to count one of them?
The cop out, man. Come on.
Hey, I
can
go and search your Twitter, dude. I'll just go and search your Twitter, dude.
Please.
Derek,
put together a dossier, get back to us.
Derek, you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to. Derek and I are friends. Everyone knows that I've been very open about that, no matter who that might get mad. But you don't have to answer this question. And you don't have to agree with my characterization of the dossier as being crazy, batshit rambling. Did Austin run that by you as a Region 1 chair?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
So yeah,
so this
I
isn't even a caucus thing. It's not a caucus thing.
I think it was posted on the Discord. I'm not sure. Let me check. But like,
I don't think he ran it by anyone. It was run by an LLM
directly or anything.
I don't think he read it. Like, I don't think Austin Martin read it. You heard how he couldn't read the SIC report because he only had like 4 days. Like, it's the same deal. He didn't have time to read it.
He also
poor boy, his lips got tired.
He also probably had 4 minutes of sleep. Look at him; he's held together by crystals.
Plus, just about Region 1, the agreement says that it needs to be sent to the state chairs by email, not by Discord, not by Signal. We did it by email because some people don't do Signal, some people don't do Discord.
Right. So yeah, no, you're right. It wasn't email. He did post it on Discord, but you're right. Like, not everybody checks it. So I do see he did post it on Discord. Are you talking about this Euro influence dossier?
Yeah.
He posted
I haven't
it to
even read it yet, so.
He posted it to the public business list too.
So Nathan, when you find the first thing, please bring it up. I'd love to address that here. Let's do that.
Kelly
Maybe we need to
raised
do
an
a proper
interesting issue.
debate stream.
Go ahead, George.
Namely, people get chosen at LNC at national conventions, and this leads to difficulties because sometimes the choices aren't so great. When I was state chair of Massachusetts, we had a flat rule for a fair number of years. Massachusetts will only join a region if the region membership is fixed in advance, and if the representative is chosen in advance with agreement of each of the state committees in the region. And if we did not have that, we would not join the region. And we didn't join a region at least once because other people didn't want to cooperate. That was their problem. And this might help regions, namely, the region agreements must be presented to the secretary in advance of the gavel coming down at the start of the national convention, including a specification of regional representatives. The other thing that we did,
just get pollen?
Was we did not require a majority vote to remove a regional representative. We required a majority vote of the entire region to retain, if it's sort of a vote of confidence.
I'm wondering.
I'm much more amenable to that.
Can you all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if we really need a region-based system. If we might be better off with an ideology-based system for representation on the LNC, like the 10 largest caucuses by membership each get a representative or something like that. I'm curious to hear people's thoughts on that. I'm wary about discarding federalism, but at the same time, I think members should have more control, over, who sits on the LNC. And the ability to remove people, as Amanda was saying.
This is a really good discussion that's going on, don't you guys think?
Regions or just, the LNC itself.
Those of you who are in my chat.
But the membership at large.
Let me know. I think this is a good discussion.
Federalism.
That idea.
There is just something floating in the air here in the basement, though. It's making me want to sneeze, too.
But yeah, I've thought about that, and a lot of people have suggested similar things. If I'm being perfectly honest, I'm not sure about the delegates' appetite for something like that, and partly because people don't always fit neatly into caucuses, and you would still want those folks to be represented and feel that sense of representation. That said, there have been several members who've been talking with some of us in LP Alliance about the changes that they want to see on the LNC structurally and in the party structurally. And so we have managed to put together our own bylaws rewrite that we'd love to send to you, and actually anyone can see it. It's open source. It's on Google Doc. We're still getting input on it. It's still being modified a little bit, but it has many of the changes that we're talking about in terms of how things are structured. It does do away with a region-based system. It does go more state representative. And because of that, because we're literally in a meeting that's taking forever, probably because a lot of people like to talk. So if you expand the LNC, you risk that as well. It also changes a little bit the way that meetings work, the way that people can be appointed or removed, or rather elected or removed, that sort of thing. And also change the convention rules. This was something that is very near and dear to Lars, I believe, to allow the all of the party past a seasoning point to be able to vote for the nominees for president and vice president. So yeah, I'd love to talk about that with folks, with really anyone on this call.
Yeah, I think one other idea that's sort of intriguing to me that I haven't really talked much about is that of having, instead of a fixed set of people on the LNC, having it more of a rotational thing. So you don't get the problem of people in leadership feeling apart from the membership, like, you know, they're this special body and they can only, you know, talk to other insiders and things like the anti-participation stuff we see even on this meeting of them not opening the chat, for example. I think having, you know, an LNC where, you know, the people, 20 people meeting this month are not the same as the 20 people meeting next month. It may sound chaotic. Maybe there's good reasons not to. I'm interested in hearing those, but I think it might also make the leadership more inclusive, more bottom up.
I have it all set up different now.
Personality conflicts that develop on a committee over time.
Wait,
people.
Hold on one sec. Sorry, it's just a bit confusion here. Doug Nebel, you just entered. Before I put you into executive session, can you just get in the mic? I want to make sure it's you. We've had impersonation problems before.
Yeah, it's me, Karen Ann. Sorry about that. I'm switching between my computer and phone.
Okay, I'll get you into executive session. One moment.
Awesome.
Okay, go
Thank
back,
you.
Star Child.
I was basically done. I just
yeah, I don't even have like the two chairs here anymore because I didn't know if you were coming
anybody
back
really
or
follows
whatever.
the Green Party. I haven't really looked into that.
Yeah,
but they have a different kind of leadership structure.
Without,
where it's a
come
much
and say
larger
hi
body,
at least.
You know, that is sort
We got
of
a guest. You can't stay the whole time because I don't have a
committee.
second chair.
But then
up.
there's a subset of that group that is more like our
Let me get this.
Hi. I'm wondering
I
how
have
that
two
works,
stories.
or
Lucy,
whether
stop. So yeah, there's the.
You know, do
Hi, everybody.
something along those lines that gave us a more bottom
Yes, I'm up here for a change. I'm making a rare cameo
the Greens,
in the land
the Greens
of
take
Colorado. Hey,
both
I got to make a
Republican and
pitch to
Democrat
everybody. I'm looking for tellers for the convention.
primarily
I
the
need
Republican
volunteers.
model.
Please ping me on the side if
the
you're
Republicans, they do
willing and
two
available.
per state.
It's
A
important.
state committee man and a state
And
committee
I do
woman.
train everybody, and you don't need to be a
And
delegate
then,
to do it.
but the
But
Greens
you have a
do
laptop
3 per
and be in
state.
Grand Rapids. Please let me know. You
one
can
of
Wait, the
email me
Republicans have a
at
sex
mike.csebeck@gmail.com.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah. If
Yes, they
you
do.
want to,
That is
the blue
fascinating.
chair is
They're doing
over
that in
there.
Rosava,
I could get
but
the other mic
you know,
hooked up.
I'll be okay. I got
Okay,
it.
because they're in executive session.
I know they are. So.
Okay, because I'm saying the blue chair is in the unfinished.
Yeah, I feel like on the LP people
I
were
still
complaining
have
it
the
was
other
too
mic hooked.
vocal
I
or
just
something.
have to.
But no, like if one
I'm just
thing is
popping in this
certain,
out
like
for a second because
decentralization
I got to get organized
is
for
the
my
more
for my
decentralized the
getting up
better.
all
And I mean,
stupid for my flight
decentralization
home,
is
so.
Okay, I
supposed
just
to be
wanted to
our
invite
whole
you if you
thing,
wanted
so
to. If you wanted to.
Distribution, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Because it needs to be decentralization with some sense of cohesion.
Lucy,
because
stop that. Get over here.
To push back against something with force or to fight for something with force, there does need to be some concentration.
Yeah, Mike's
of
staying
the
with
work.
us. He was
However,
Colorado's
that doesn't mean that
Parliamentarian
someone from the top is directing what that's going to look like. So your distribution, various nodes of activity and action that are coordinated toward common ends is, you know, that should be what we're trying to structure with that in mind.
You just described regions.
Yes, but that's not contiguous. That's
to
a
me,
problem.
a good mantra or litmus test, if you will, is to look at how libertarians feel a real world government should be run or designed. Going to be a government at all, or until the point we get to anarchy for those who are anarchists. How should that government operate, and then try to model that in our own organization and our own governance, so that people can look at the Libertarian Party and see, hey, these guys have some credibility. They're not just other politicians making promises, because we can see that the things that they're calling for in government, they're already doing in their own organization.
Yeah.
I think that would give us a level of credibility, as well as training our own people so that when they get into government, hopefully, they've already been encultured in this system that's bottom up, that's participatory, that's empowered to the individual, where leaders are held accountable and to the platform, and all these other things that we've sometimes deviated from to our disadvantage, I think.
But Nathan, that's not all what regions are, because again, that's arbitrary in the first place. It's a state line, but there's no reason necessarily that these states are joined together for any reason apart from
Jack, I saw it.
There's not any particular policy similarity between contiguous states. There's not an issue coalition similarity between contiguous states. And there's also the problem where the way that we do regions, it's not actually member focused. It's not distributed. You've got this region leader, and they're making the calls. They're not showing people their super secret dossiers that they've then released the public list. It just doesn't make sense, the model that we have.
And the accountability measure is the chairs of the region rescind the person.
Right, and that's not even
the chairs don't even necessarily, if members of a party want they think that their region rep is not representing them, but the chair is loyal to the region rep.
So
we're never in New York. To remove a region rep, it requires first a 2/3 vote of the LPNY state committee before the chair is authorized to vote to remove a region rep. However, if the chair, they're just authorized, though, the chair could still vote no on removal if, for example, they were super loyal to the region rep.
Let's think this through for a second, because Region 1 has a lot of little states. Are we seriously, with no offense toward Derek here, Derek's party is down to just above single-digit people at this point, which I'm not blaming Derek for. New Mexico went through some nasty shit. Are we seriously going to say that, Colorado, which has a ton of people, they had over 100 people at their convention, which is more people at their convention than New Mexico has as members total, that Derek should have the exact same vote as Keith Laube in Colorado, just because they're each in a state as far as who the representative is. The fact of the matter is regions punish everyone in the region, because if you have, in Region 1, there's 15 states. And so 7 itty-bitty states can overrule the entire rest of the region, which is what we've been seeing.
Kyle, do you see any potential disadvantages or things we'd want to avoid in discarding this system of federalism?
Maybe after this, but I have a feeling this is going to last
historically,
all
I think
night.
Federalism has served the United States pretty well.
So
eliminating the direct election of U.S. senators, for example, on the face of it, this is like a bottom-up, pro-freedom change, let the people choose the senators directly, but it ended up disempowering the state governments, and the result was a more powerful federal central government. So that's what we want to avoid, I think. And is there any danger of that happening with the LNC?
I'm wondering what's going on in this executive session, aren't you guys?
Suffering from democratization.
Sorry?
But
the
you said
17th
suffering
Amendment.
from democratization.
Yes.
So
yeah, Chuck, I'm opposed to that scheme, by the way. You already know that from last bylaws committee.
The way to go
I've been
around
very
this
open
is
with LP Alliance said I oppose
dual
that.
house thing, just like our government uses, right? So by having referenda and other things where we want direct member involvement, they effectively become the House, and the parliamentary LNC is more like the Senate, because at the end of the day, what we're talking about is governance.
Mike and I need to do that again.
The LP as a company, we're talking about as a governance body.
Yes, and that sounds a little bit
I'm muting this for 1 sec because I want to answer Jack's question. Mike has been doing an awful lot for the National Convention, including being on bylaws committee, platform committee, and all the crazy stuff I used to do. After National Convention, we're going to regularly be doing Cult of R&R again. If Mike comes up with a short subject, we could do one tonight. I'm putting it all on him, but I have a feeling this meeting's going to last all night.
Essentially, what Ken and my proposal was, which was the 50-state LNC. It is because
because in yours, I'll let you finish, and then I'll go in.
He's specifically, Starchild is specifically referring to the Green Party model, which is exactly what I'm trying to discuss here, because Ken and my proposal was based off of the Green Party model. So essentially, you would have each affiliate have a representative, and then that body would then elect a small board that would conduct more nimble actions. But the big board would set a budget, basically affiliate and disaffiliate, and that'd be it. So
the issue with that is it's not member elected, though. The small board is still not member elected.
Oh, we're back.
But we're talking about federal.
Hey everyone, the
everybody,
LNC's
we're going to be coming
back.
back to the meeting. So if everybody can go ahead and mute themselves again. Thank you.
Can you turn on the chat, please,
no.
and have
mute
public
yourself.
comment?
Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. McMahon, is the recording started?
Recording in progress.
All right. I'm calling this meeting back to order at 8:43 p.m. We'll now be going directly to the ballot,
coming out of executive
approved Perry Willis
session?
Development Director contract. Mr. Secretary, whenever you're ready.
Mr. Bowler.
Yes.
Mr. Bost.
It's an out because I know.
Yes.
Mr. Chatterton.
Pass.
Mr. Dar.
Yes.
Mr. Dassing.
Abstain.
Mr. Ford.
Yes.
Ms. Robson. Ms. Robson.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought I was unmuted.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Mr. Neville.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
Pass.
Mr. McGee.
Aye.
I vote yes. Mr. Koffel.
Aye.
Mr. Redpath.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent is not present. Mr. Watkins.
Yes.
Chair Nikela.
Yes.
Coming back, Mr. Chatterton.
Abstain.
Did you say abstain?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Martin.
Abstain.
Mr. Chair, the vote is 13 yes, 0 no, and 3 abstentions.
All right. Motion passes. Next up is
Mr. Chair, just a quick question, Mr. Chair. I'm sorry. Point of order. I'd ask you to have Mr. Willis call me this week so that we can plan for the convention to have him take an aggressive role in recruiting perhaps lifetime memberships and other ways, off balance sheet fundraising, if you will. Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah, and he will be there, so we will put him to work. All right, next up is Ballots Without Borders presentation by Mr. Mapstead. Mr. Mapstead, thank you so much for being patient. We appreciate your time and willingness to be with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. So I wanted to start out by just kind of telling you how Ballots Without Barriers came about, and that was through my presidential campaign when I was campaigning in Maine and trying to get on the ballot there. I was talking to the state chair and the people of Maine, and they said they didn't have ballot access because they had been the party had been basically removed from the voter rolls. After a bunch of legal machinations and lobbying the state, they were able to get the ballot requirements from 10,000 registered voters down to 5,000 registered voters. And the chair there during the campaign said, Harrison Kemp, who was the chair at the time,
they're doing a presentation
said,
right now.
I could probably do this in 10 or 12 different states and get ballot access
borders
reduced in 10 or 12 different states. And that piqued my interest because what I realized is that the Libertarian Party spends almost $1 million across all of the different states that we have and the National Party every year just securing ballot access. And it's a giant waste of money that basically goes to petitioners and a lot of it goes to the state because they extract money from us to get on the ballots. And so the idea is to reduce ballot access laws across the country so that we can get dividends forever, and that we can use that $1 million, or at least a good portion of it, to elect candidates and to get our message out to more people. The duopoly basically starves us of the ability to function, right? Because we're a small party, they rob us of all of our resources before we can even start to act. And we're the third largest party in America, so if we can't do it, nobody can, kind of a thing. And so, like I said, the party spends around $1 million a year, and it's we can change this. And so we've been thinking about how can we do this, and what we've decided is that we at first I was just trying to send out letters to state organizations, state legislators, and trying to get them to act, and they could care less. I went to a Secretary of State convention and talked to the Secretaries of States, and they also seemed to not give a crap, most of them. In fact, several of them said, we like it rigged. We like the fact that you can't participate, and go away. You're bothering me, kid. And so what I realized is that none of these legislators are going to listen to us and change the rules unless there's a grassroots movement, a groundswell across America of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people basically telling their representatives to go GFY themselves and fix ballot access. And so what I ended up creating with my team, the Voter Choice Foundation, is this Ballots Without Barriers. And what it is a website that you can go to, anybody can go to, and it's very simple. It basically lets you type in your address, and it gives you your state representatives who are representing you, and it will send an email on your behalf letting them know that their ballot access sucks and that you want it changed. It will also, if you would like, send a physical piece of mail, a little flyer, to the representative as well, so you can, and it also gives their phone number. So there's 3 different opportunities to basically do this, and it's a very simple, easy ask. We in the Libertarian Party often say, well, what can I do? And people want to participate, but they don't have a lot of time, they don't have a lot of resources. This is a very simple task that anybody can do to be active in trying to change the system. And so that's sort of what we've created here. Also on the Ballots Without Barrier website, you will see what we've called the ballot tax. And what that is the amount of money that is required for you to start a new party and file to run for Congress. And in many states, it's over $100,000 or more. And I've sort of done the back of the napkin math on the Libertarian Party's ballot access and what is that worth. And my guess is that we are somewhere in the neighborhood of $20 million.
That's the value why of MAGA
the Libertarian
wants
Party
us.
Ballot access, because no other
That's
no
why
other party
Angela
has anywhere close
McArdle is
to what we
trying to
have.
prostitute
us. And it is a
us.
super valuable asset for the party, basically. So
why do you think the embezzler
we are
wants
launching this? We finally finished the website. It's active. We have over 15,000 registered people who have signed up to be active in different states. But what we're really looking for is champions in each state. And we're looking for people who have done legislation in their state, people who have contacts with legislators that would like to work with Harrison Kemp and our team to basically get this.
Oh my God, I just got another.
Passed. And we know there's people in every state, but I need basically help finding those people, plugging them in, and getting this system really, super active.
Oh.
We're having
could be just spring in Colorado.
we're at the convention this year. That's sort of one of our launch things that we're doing. We have a booth at the convention, and we're holding a luncheon for all the state chairs. And you'll be getting invites soon. If you're a state chair, or if you can't attend, send a representative from your state so that you can learn about Ballots Without Barriers, what we're trying to do, how your affiliate can get involved.
I'm watching the LP Alliance stream at the same time. It's so meta
in your state. I get calls, weekly almost. I got one today asking me, Lars, can you help us? We've got a candidate that's trying to run in our state, and we need money for petitioning. And can you help us? And I mean, I'd love to help everybody, but my wallet isn't endless. And quite frankly, I find often that if I give too much money away, it actually harms people because it takes away their ability to basically do the work themselves and learn.
And I love that the chat participants
but this system right here,
most of them are over there too.
It will cut
chat and
the numbers for
it's
all
fantastic,
so that they don't have to come ask me or
go
anybody
yell
else
at HVAC Soldier because he's usually in both and he's not.
It gives them the ability to act for themselves without the state oppressing them miserably. So really what we're asking, and the reason I'm here today is just sort of an information thing so that you know what we're doing. We're launching this. We're going to be doing a large national advertising campaign around this to get lots and lots of people involved, not just
Chuck's in all the chats.
Green Party, Forward Party, everybody that is oppressed by the system should be involved in this. And it's coalition building and really, getting things really moving. And so, obviously we're asking for you to help us contact the state chairs because maybe we don't have every single state chair's information or the correct information. So that's one thing that we're asking. And then maybe just letting the membership at large know
Austin is walking around outside
that could be used to help save the party massive sums of money.
Last thing he needs is more coffee.
Year. And then I guess one last thing, and then I'll open up for some questions, is we've been working really hard. My team has been working really hard on putting together the most comprehensive ballot access document that's ever basically been made. It includes, petition dates, petition times, requirements, fees.
Ballot access
all the
committee already has that,
but in each state. And
maybe they don't anymore. Who knows? Institutional knowledge has gone down the drain.
But I'm going to be passing around this document. I'll send it to Stephen and Paul. And
I want it.
They can get it out to the membership or to the group here. But we'd also love to have the experts who know their state better than anybody else weigh in on our findings, rip it apart, and tell us if we've screwed up anywhere. But we've had Richard Winger looking it over. We've had Bill Redpath looking it over. We've had a number of people that have done litigation and have worked even in different groups looking it over. And so we'd love some feedback
Pat
on that.
has a question.
And with that,
let's
I'd love
start
to
the timer.
Answer any questions that anybody has.
I'm starting the timer.
Lars, Mr. Chair. No, I think we have 5 more minutes left. I put down 15 minutes.
Yeah,
that was
I
15.
did. I
15?
No,
when I gave you the 5, I was signaling that was time. There's 5 minutes left.
Yeah, 5 minutes left. But I did want to point out one last thing is that we have already had quite a bit of success with this organization. We got through
Star Child, you can't ask questions. You're not an LNC member.
House. The proportional representation was discussed on the floor that came through our group of people, and with the help of Pat Ford, we and Harrison Kemp, we have a bill on the State House floor, I believe, and Pat could probably weigh in on this, for Rhode Island right now. And so our goal is to get 3 states ballots changed before 2028. And then once we have that under our belts and have the system in place, we should be able to just continuously beat down these states. And there's like 25 states that are really bad, and the rest of them are, so-so.
Colorado actually is pretty
good. To move to
good.
extend time for 2 minutes for each speaker that currently has their hands raised.
That is an LNC member.
That is an that is an LNC member because I know we got to get going.
Yeah, that's just an LNC member.
Pat?
Is there a second?
Second.
Any objection? Hearing none. Mr. Ford, go ahead. Pat, you're muted, buddy.
Sorry. Lars, thank you for your commitment to the convention. It's a huge help, and I think it's going to be a great session. So every state should make sure they either have their chair or their vice chair going. Number two.
Yeah, Gregory. He is streaming while driving.
Harrison did an outstanding job just about a month ago in Rhode Island on the floor testifying. Myself, a member, Harrison testified, and it was on the strength of that testimony. I don't even think you know this yet, Lars, but the ACLU
no, he's parked.
Has he privately weighed in
camera
on
off.
The notion that they're open to supporting our legislation. Now, we already have the endorsement of the Secretary of State. As long as they finally told us the one or two mechanical things that we need to do in anticipation of the next session to get this.
You're already at 1 minute,
they
Pat.
potentially give us their endorsement. So that's the kind of boots on the ground effort that this represents. I've always maintained for the years I've been on the LNC that we need to be putting money into lobbying and legislation in addition to petitioning. So
I do have a timer going.
Off petitioning. So Lars, great stuff. Congratulations. And thanks for your efforts here in Rhode Island.
Hey, he made it in the 2 minutes.
Paul.
Yes, thank you. I'm very excited about this because ballot access is extremely important to us, and being able to attack that ballot access
Lars
tax
is doing the
that
Lord's
has
work.
been on the party, and to reduce and eliminate that is very exciting for me, and I'm excited that we have something that we can move forward on that in the future.
Thank you. Bill.
I just want to say thanks, Lars. We don't spend, let's say, $1 million per year, but we could. I mean, right now, if we, Illinois, New York, the bad states, and certainly to fully fund ballot access for LP candidates across the nation, it certainly would run $1 million or more per year. But thanks for your efforts here, and they're greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Lars, I want to say thank you again so very much, and let's stick together and talk some more how we can work together on this. This is a great mission.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, everybody.
All right. Next is Policy Manual Amendment, Section 104, Financial Standards Committee, motion by Mr. Watkins. Is there a second?
I didn't even look at. The changes to this didn't seem significant.
Mr.
But maybe,
Watkins, would you like to speak to your motion?
Yeah,
maybe I didn't get it.
Pretty straightforward. All it does is removes the need for approval by the committee for routine expenses and staff workflows. It keeps the oversight, which I think is probably the most valuable part.
No, not after we had an
committee.
Embezzler.
I think it could be consolidated elsewhere, but we are where we are. So this is a very small change, but I think it could alleviate whatever pressure staff may be facing because of it. That's pretty much it.
It'll probably pass,
just
but not since we had an embezzler.
Would remove the $600 limit that if staff wants to spend more than $600, they have to get it approved by the FSC, and the FSC would simply be an advisory committee.
Correct. And then they would not only just review any proposed new expenses, but also reoccurring expenses, because things change, you can readdress. I don't know if that's what the committee
Freedom Calls
just kind of
was
doing
a
now in practice, but this just makes it a little bit more
embezzlement.
clear.
No.
Okay. Mr. Thompson?
No.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure what sort of issues staff has had, but
give
would
it
it be
a few
possible
years
just to
after
adjust the
an
$600
embezzlement.
figure so that staff isn't getting handicapped with it
They're
without
not.
kind of
They're not.
invalidating the committee? Because without them having veto power, that kind of removes
And we
most
had an
of the point of their
embezzler.
existence, I think.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I feel like the committee is something that's time limited, right? Like I don't think the next LNC is going to have as much of a need for it, but considering that we put them in place for a very good reason, I don't feel like this LNC should remove it if we can avoid it.
Well, I don't think really it was that necessary. I don't think it would have prevented anything from happening in the past, but I think at least with the oversight there, it at least helps to mitigate that. And if something really is pressing, they could just bring it straight to the attention of the chair, executive director, or the LNC if it's that urgent. The limit, I guess it could be raised, but I think raising that limit may just defeat the purpose of the committee anyway, which that's fine. But I think the oversight itself is good enough. And again, I agree that the next LNC probably won't need it. And having this language, I think, just makes it easier for things to move forward.
You have 1 month left. You don't need to do this.
I just wanted clarification. In what I received, it says expenditures totaling over 6,000 per year. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure because I wasn't sure if
I just used the language that was already there.
It was 600.
Oh, did I? Okay, then maybe did I misread what was in the policy manual?
Yeah, it was under consideration totaling over $600 per year to determine their necessity. And you've got it as the FSC shall be informed of and review existing and proposed expenditures totaling over 6,000 per year.
That was just a typo on my part.
Okay. Yeah. That is what I thought. Correct that for you, because I feel like that is going to give a lot of room.
For embezzlement.
All right, thank you. I've corrected it.
Yep.
Mr. Koffel and Mr. Chatterton. Mr. Koffel?
Evan just raised my issue, so.
Okay.
Thank you for that catch.
Vote it down. We don't
Mr.
need to
Chatterton.
do this 1 month before convention.
So yes, I would, I think, echo the need for this change. I think this puts an undue burden on staff. If matters are identified by the FSC, there should be ample means to raise those concerns and have them stopped if they are problematic. And furthermore, I think that while I believe this committee probably never should have existed, and I think most of these matters should have been inherently the duty of the
defending an embezzler.
The committee does exist, and if we don't have something on the table to get rid of it, that this is the next best thing, and I think it can provide valuable benefit in terms of monitoring and bringing attention to any potential issues with our spending for as long as it exists.
Mr. McNabb?
No, I actually want to talk. Sorry. I kind of agree. I don't know that this committee should have ever existed. As a matter of fact, I do believe before I was on the LNC at the Michigan meeting with this was proposed, I spoke out kind of against it, but it does exist. I agree that maybe it should stay the way it is, and the next LNC maybe should look at whether or not this is a good function, if there's a better mechanism or something else, but maybe we should just leave it for the next LNC to decide.
It was put in place because there was an embezzler.
Go ahead to a vote. Mr. Secretary, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Mr. Bowler.
No.
Mr. Bost.
Yes, she is allowed to run for national office again. The LNC can't bar her from doing
Mr.
that.
Bost.
Pass.
Mr. Chatterton.
Yes. Excuse me, yes.
Mr. Dar.
I abstain.
Abstentions.
Mr.
Don't
Dassey.
abstain. Abstentions are cowardly in my view.
Yes.
Mr. Ford.
Yes.
Ms. Robson.
Pass.
Mr. Neville.
Nay.
Good for Doug.
Mr. Martin.
I think I'll vote yes.
Mr. McGee.
Nay.
Good for Mr. McGee.
I'm going to pass. Mr. Koffel.
No.
Good for Mr. Koffel.
Mr. Redpath.
Stay.
Don't, God.
Mr. Thompson.
Abstentions are horrible.
Mr. Vinson's not here. Mr. Watkins.
Yes.
Chair Nikela.
I'll vote last.
Okay. Mr. Bost.
Yes.
Ms. Robson.
No.
I couldn't hear you.
No.
Good for her.
I'm going to vote no.
Good for
Chair
Evan.
Nikela.
I'll abstain.
Mr. Chair, the vote is 6 yes, 7 no, 3
Good.
abstentions.
Fails.
Motion fails. All right. Next up on the agenda is accept Rachel Nelson resignation from IALP Awards Committee. I'll be passing the gavel off to Mr. Vice Chair Dar.
Mr. Nikela, let me see. First hand up. I see to be well, did you wish to speak to your motion, Mr. Nikela?
Yes. Is there a second?
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right.
Thank
So I'll speak to my motion. The IELP currently has a provision that allows the USLP to select up to 2 members for any
Studio
committee.
lights went out.
Right now, there is no mechanism for the LNC to choose a member for any of these committees. I did choose Miss Rachel Nelson as awards committee. She did
I got to put in a new one.
Their bylaws require us to
I better
accept their
order a new one.
resignation. I would like the body at some point to consider language to actually codify how we handle these appointments. Mr. Bowler is currently our liaison for the IELP. He has been for several months now. I have asked Drew Herrera from staff, we all know and love Drew, to be on the comms committee, Brian McWilliams as an alternate. So we do have 2 positions that we can fill. So that is the current makeup, but we will be needing to accept the resignation of Ms. Rachel Nelson according to the ILP's bylaws.
Thank you, Mr. Nikela.
Sorry.
Mr. Martin.
Getting allergies.
Yeah. Okay. Let me straighten this out really quickly because this is really concerning. We do not need to accept her resignation because it's not our body, even if you claim it's our votes. There's no requirement for this. This is just kind of a name and shame. And look, you know, you could have brought this before the committee before you just unilaterally appointed these people for one thing. But beside the point, this is extremely inappropriate. She stepped back. She's following her conscience, and you're like naming that and bringing it up unnecessarily before the committee.
God, shut
and I think
up.
that's inappropriate because if somebody wants to step away from the IALP for the corruption,
you gotta take what you're given. That's how we live it.
Didn't mean
they
to do
have a
that.
right to
Point
do
of
so.
order. These are unfounded accusations.
Oh yeah? No, they're very well founded on public information, sir. Why don't you take a look at that? The fact is that if somebody wants to step away from an organization they disagree with, it is absolutely their right to do so. And then sitting here and harassing and naming and shaming someone, that's what it seems like to me. And I just think it's extremely inappropriate. If somebody wants to step away from the ILP and publicly announce their resignation, that's their prerogative. But for you to drag that in front of the national committee as if we need to approve it, what, like we're going to reject it? Like we're going to prevent her from resigning?
Well, then shut up and we'll do it.
I object to the consideration
Please come to
of this
order.
question.
Please come to order. Those that are
I
speaking.
object to the consideration of the question, Mr. Chair.
It's an incidental main motion. You cannot object to consideration of the question.
Sorry, needed to unmute myself. Yes, you object to consideration of the question. Is there a second to objection to consideration?
Yes.
It's an incidental main
I
motion.
have a point of order. I believe it's too late to object to the consideration of the motion as it has been moved and seconded and we are on discussion.
That is correct. Debate has begun. Objecting to consideration cannot be made at that point. Thank you.
Can we substitute? Can I propose an amendment then to substitute Rachel Nelson's name for Stephen? Are you on that committee?
I am not on any committee.
You're not on any ILP committee? That's a bummer. It'd be nice to change that to your resignation. Oh well. We could change ILP to LNC.
Shut the fuck
All in
up,
favor?
you asshole.
That's out of order at this moment. It's a special meeting, Mr. Martin. That's a completely different item of business. Thank
Not
you.
germane. Understood, Chair. Thank you.
Understood. Thank you. Ms. Robson.
Hi. So all I wanted to say is to that last point, I believe that having to accept resignations is completely un-libertarian. It's like you're not a slave. However, unfortunately, most organizations, including
I'm
this
going to go
one,
change my light
and
bulb while this is going on.
R&R, say that you have to accept resignations. So I would hope that we could just get through this, not debate it much, accept her resignation because she has other things to do and get on with the rest of our lives. So thank you.
Thank you. Let me see, Mr. Chatterton.
If I can ask, was this body consulted to appoint for any of these ILP positions?
No, as I mentioned, I made the appointments. There's no current mechanism right now for the LNC to make appointments or how we handle these matters. That is something that the body can take up at any time.
But yeah, so I guess my point would be then if the body had this brought before it in the first place, I don't think this is then the body that appointed it. I mean, I guess if your point is that you did so as on behalf of the LNC
because I put in a new bulb, but this bulb's looking burnt.
I take issue with the fact that it's
I think I have to order a new studio light.
Balanced in that manner that
but
this was not
do I
brought
look
before
bright
us for a
enough to you
vote.
guys? Do I really
We do have
need a new
mechanism, it's
studio
called a
light?
vote. And if it was appointed on behalf of this body, that's how that should have been brought for us. And the fact that it was not done at the start, I think gives credence to the fact that this is not.
Okay, let me look at a light box.
Procedurally proper. I did not see anything in the.
Oh, I agree with you, Gregory.
Demanding
I
a vote
agree
by
with you.
The
let me put so your comment can be seen.
We'll be
arguing about wasting time wastes more time.
Thank you, Mr. Chatterton. Mr. Ford.
Is it possible that I can call the question?
Yes.
Please. The question has been called. Is there a second calling the question?
Oh,
Second.
yes.
Second.
Mine. I second. Sit down.
All right. Is there
I'm
any
gonna have to order a new light,
question?
I think.
Not here.
I'll say one thing.
Actually, I'm gonna try putting in a bulb I know works.
I just wanted
before I
to
do
Point
that.
of order. The
fellow
question has
state
been
chair.
called. The question has been called. This is out of order.
I just wanted to object to the fact that
it's still out of order.
This
It's
is
out
one
of
of our
order.
state chairs that as part of
It's
my
out of
region,
order.
recently
And she's
resigned.
not a
and
state
This has
chair.
got to feel like
Mr.
teeth
Chair.
It's
sinking
not a
into her
state
neck.
chair anymore.
We're not letting
They
her
had
go.
their
The
convention.
question
You're
is
not the chair, Mr. McGee. Shut up.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Martin. The question has been called. We'll be going to a vote on the matter.
I'm looking for a new studio light in case I need one.
Mr. Bowler.
Yes.
Mr. Bowler.
Yes, and I thank Rachel for her service.
Mr. Chatterton.
Thank you to Rachel as well, and I abstain.
You want me to come back to you, Mr. Vice Chair?
Sure.
Mr. Dassing.
No.
Can't not
Mr. Ford.
accept somebody's. Never mind.
Ms. Robson.
Yes.
It
Mr.
could be
Neville.
the outlet. I'll check that
Aye.
too, Gregory. I'm just looking
Mr.
for a
Martin.
new one in case I need to order it, and I'll stick it in my.
I like Rachel so much that if you're asking me to vote to accept her leaving, that's hard. But I'm a libertarian, so I just have to abstain because I want to say no.
Thank you, Mr. McGee.
Actually, abstain.
I vote yes. Mr. Koffel.
Yes.
Treasurer Redpath.
Yes.
I can't find these mounted boxes
Mr.
like
Thompson.
I had.
Yes.
Mr. Watkins.
I appreciate Miss Rachel, and I vote no.
Mr. Nikela.
I vote yes.
Vice Chair Dar.
I appreciate the service of Miss Nelson and vote yes.
Mounted
Mr. Vice Chair,
softbox.
the vote is 11 yes, 2 noes, and 3 abstentions.
Motion passes. Next item of business, initiate retainer from Barnaby and Kabat PLC from Legal General. Chair Nikayla, you're the mover of the motion.
I found ones on tripods, but mine are mounted to the ceiling. Is there a second?
Yes. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made, seconded. Chair Nikayla.
In order to exact accountability, I move the following motion.
Yes.
That's all I've got.
Thank you, Chair Nikayla. Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford's hand is down. I think that was an artifact. Mr. Chatterton.
Yes. So again, we see another attempt at irresponsible governance here, intended to enact personal political agendas. This is now the second or third attempt by this body to try to circumvent its own adopted opinions that this matter was not a good financial consideration. And given that the bases for these this potential suit are derived from a report that has been demonstrably shown to be conflicted and therefore should be void,
but it's
despite
not.
The obstruction by several members of this body
like halo
to
lights,
consider
Jack.
the documented evidence of that. We now again are seeing an additional attempt to work around our budget processes while we have seen roadblocks and hurdles thrown for the legitimate legal matters that this body has a fiduciary duty to pursue. We see the chair manipulating our processes and attempting to put this forward without
I think I'm going to have to get one
or financial
that's on a tripod
allocation to this matter. We heard from the secretary as a member of the litigation committee recently that this matter will cost $50K at least, or at least $50K at least.
No, it won't. She's going to
which I think is a very low estimation for the matter and probably likely to far exceed that amount. And yet again, after multiple attempts to do so, we again see only attempt to pull this for $10,000. Despite further speaking that at the December LNC budget meeting that it was moved to incorporate $65,000 for this matter into the budget, which would be a far more realistic estimation of those costs, and it did not receive a second. So this body has outright denied to fund this matter through proper channels and realistic estimations. And we're seeing repeated attempts to circumvent the processes and the approvals necessary.
You're allowed to renew a motion. It's not a circumvention, Andrew, and you know that.
Start this litigation without sufficient funding so that we will be obligated to continue funding it without having to go on paper now to acknowledge that fact. Furthermore, I believe this is an attempt to undermine our other litigation by attempting to drain available funds that would be needed to pursue critical litigation that we are, as I mentioned earlier, I believe under a fiduciary responsibility to pursue. This would pull from our general legal budget, which is, I don't think any specific items allocated, though I have just put forward a request for co-sponsors for new information
not going to get me.
That has come forward in our previous trademark case in New Mexico, or I'm sorry, in Michigan, which will be used by the case in New Mexico as precedent and is currently being undermined by the defendants in that case who have actively sought to basically nullify that ruling through current court matters. So this would be a very irresponsible matter for us to allocate new funding for something this body has already identified as a poor consideration for us to pursue and has specifically given the conditions that it only be pursued if we receive pro bono representation or earmarked donations to support it. And not only have neither of those happened, we are deliberately undercutting the costs here to get us committed down this path where we know that we will have additional expenses that we would then have to support to continue to maintain the suit. This is irresponsible. This is an attempt to circumvent our normal approval mechanisms to hide the true cost of this litigation and to enact personal political agendas and conflicts of interest that should have no place amongst this board's governance decisions.
Thank you, Mr. Chatterton.
Have you pulled your Region 1 chairs?
Mr.
Yeah, I don't like the darkness. This is...
Let me see. Mr. Martin's next up in order.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, Mr. Secretary, I'd like to propose an amendment, but I'd like to speak a little bit to it before I get to it. Mr. Chatterton raises some good points about good governance and the issues with trying to not fund this litigation against former chair, and the conflicts on that versus, no payout, all the issues there, compared to the real items of business that we have on the table. Cash is not infinite. In fact, it's something we really need to work to conserve. So I had an idea on how to make this sorry, it's not a bill, but this motion from a really kind of more irresponsible motion that's politically motivated to increase infighting and cause more division into something that actually would really help us. And my thought is we change the group to whom the amount is being budgeted to IP Fresh. And so we'll just put in a little bit more, since as we heard from the New Mexico matter, it's very likely that it will need more. There's 2 causes of action, right, that we're considering. And it's necessary that we should, fund that. So why don't I would propose an amendment that we change it so that the funding goes to IP Fresh instead of to a Democrat law firm. Is there a second?
Seconded.
A motion to amend has been made and seconded, but this is a special meeting.
Right.
Trying to consider if that amendment is in the.
It's in order.
It's in order?
Mr. Chair, yes. It is in order.
Okay, thank you.
You can amend a motion. However,
you can't amend it beyond scope of notice, Evan. You're wrong. You cannot amend it beyond.
The motion as stated was to change the name of who to pay
it's out of order.
to IP Fresh. I'd point out that IP Fresh is not agreed and doesn't specialize in civil litigation for this purpose. And 2, that an attempt to completely gut the motion would not be germane.
Pardon me, Mr.
You
Secretary.
can vote it down.
Mr. Secretary, it would be entirely germane to change the law firm that's intended for these funds because it's a budget allocation intended to sue one person, and we can simply swap it out for suing another. That's entirely germane to the motion. So I would appreciate it if we could just proceed.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Continuing further, please raise hands to debate the current amendment. Mr. Ford, is your hand raised for the current amendment?
Just call the question.
No, I want to go back to the original, so call me then. Thank you.
Okay. Let me see, Mr. Bowler.
Someone just call the question so we can get all of this over with.
Second Mr. McMahon's interpretation, because the motion would read, move to initiate a retainer with IP Fresh in the amount of $10,000 from the legal general budget line for the purpose of initiating civil litigation against former Chair Angela McArdle. So more than just the name would need to be amended. Thank you.
Point of information, Mr. Chair, Mr. Secretary, how much time is left on this item?
Exactly.
I'm seeing
2 minutes and 43 seconds.
Awesome. I'm
sorry, what was that? I didn't hear it.
2 minutes and 37 seconds.
I move to amend the amendment to include the language for civil litigation against New Mexico.
You weren't recognized
That's
yet,
out of
Mr.
scope.
In New Mexico.
That's out of scope.
Mr. Chatterton,
That's
you were
out
up
of
next?
scope.
Perhaps as a means of considering a more germane amendment that we would consider an amendment to include also Mr. Redpath, given that he has admitted to conducting identical offenses to what Miss McArdle is.
It's out of scope.
So, Mr. Chatterton, you're moving an amendment to the amendment to add in.
By the way, I object to that. That is not so.
To add, Mr.
Not all. I should clarify to Mr. Redpath's objections. Not every. He did not admit to every violation to which she is accused, but one of the pivotal ones, which was an undisclosed. I don't know. It's available on YouTube and can be found on the public list. If anyone has further questions that want to see when he admitted to taking undisclosed funds with the LNC.
Well, I do not agree to that.
Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chair, I object to the interpretation of my amendment language. While I'm off the cuff, it's pretty clear that I intended to change the path of that litigation, and I made it clear in my description that it would be against the New Mexico matters. However, that was not carried over in the language, and then that mistake was basically exploited to undermine the spirit of my motion. I would appreciate it if the record could reflect that I was asking for civil litigation in New Mexico.
It's
so
out of scope.
$10,000.
Mr. Chair, point of order. Mr. Chair, point of order.
IP fresh.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Point of order.
Bring
And I
the
believe
member
that's
to order.
what you can't change what we're voting on based on what you wish I said.
How about what you actually said, the words that came out of your mouth, and I even asked?
Yeah, but you made an omission.
I even asked and you said,
Mr. Secretary, you made
name.
an omission. You ignored a critical part of what I said for your personal benefit.
Okay.
I would appreciate it if you would put on the screen what I asked us to be voting on and is motioned and seconded in front of this body. You want me to send it in writing right now?
I'm not required to workshop your motion to amend for you.
I just said it. It's few words. If you're sandbagging, I will happily send you text.
Okay.
Which would you prefer?
I call out previous questions.
Thank you.
We're out of time. So
we're
the
out of
question
time.
needs to reflect the vote properly.
Point of order.
We're actually on the amendment to the amendment.
There was no second
Correct.
to Mr.
Yes, there was.
Chatterton's amendment.
No, there
Mr.
wasn't.
Chatterton's amendment. No, there wasn't.
Point of order.
You're correct.
I believe the language that was moved and seconded was moved to initiate a retainer with fresh IP in the amount of $10,000 from the legal general budget line for the purposes of initiating litigation against former Chair Angela McCarroll. Yeah, you've got it now.
Okay.
Please excuse me. I specified that I intended to change the target and pathway of that litigation. I specified that and made it clear before I made my motion.
Mr. Dar, would you like me to change that? Mr. Martin
is doing violence against my language.
Mr. Secretary, it'll be easier if you just.
I was going to ask if you would like to rule and ask me to correct for Mr. Martin his amendment.
That is my ruling.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
In the amount of $10,000 from the legal general budget line.
It's crazy to me that nobody here is understanding this is a special meeting, and that is out of scope.
That's all.
It is
for
out
the purpose
of scope.
of supporting the
Does
New Mexico
anyone in chat get what I'm saying?
That works.
Thank you.
It's out of scope. It's out of order.
I do really appreciate written motions in the cases where there's specifics.
It is out of scope. It would have been fine to just change the law firm.
That's not a critique of anyone. It's just I like the clarity of it.
But you can't change the subject matter of the litigation. That is out of scope. Oh my fucking God.
Litigation.
Thank you, Chuck.
We're out of time.
We're out of time, so we would immediately move to the amendment and then to the main motion.
That is correct.
No further discussion.
This is a special meeting.
I'm ready to call the roll on the amendment.
Please do so, Mr. Secretary.
Point of order. I had my hand raised.
We were out
of time. It doesn't matter when a question.
I'd still like to have my voice heard.
No,
for the main question.
Time is out.
Stipulated to that.
Time is out, Pat. Time
we're
is
out
out.
of time, Mr. Ford.
All right, I'll make a motion to extend the time by 1 minute.
No.
Objection.
No.
Second.
No.
I'd like to be heard. That's all. I'll be brief.
Pat, you've been heard a million gazillion
1 minute,
times.
Mr. Ford. Can you, Mr. Chair, give him 1 minute?
If without objection, I would like to give him 1 minute. Not hearing any, Mr. Ford.
Okay, briefly, the reason why I object to the main motion ties directly into my attitude of behavior on New Mexico. I don't believe this party is in a position where, when negotiation is possible, to constantly enter into litigation. It's financially imprudent. We're on short money. We've got a lot of obligations to fulfill, including a new hire tonight. Therefore, I will be opposing this, the main motion, which is to pursue yet another lawsuit for the same reason I always have, because we just don't have the money, and we could possibly win the lawsuit and lose the money battle significantly with no hopes of recovery. Thank you.
Okay, he kept under a minute.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ford.
The shocking,
all right, going to the vote.
Not
on the
knowing
amendment,
the basics of Roberts, though, is insane to me.
Mr. Bowler.
To the amendment, no.
Yeah, the chair needs to restate the motion before they vote. because Bowler had to
Mr. Bost.
confirm that this was about.
I mean, I agree with
amendment.
the language, so yes.
Of course, he's just such a Mises shill at this point.
Mr. Vice Chair, would you want me to come back to you?
Yes, please come back to me.
Mr. Dassing. Mr. Dassing.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta go look at the bingo
Mr.
card.
Ford.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what, Mr. Ford?
I'm going to pass, please.
Ms. Robson.
Pass.
Mr. Nebel.
Nay to the amendment.
Mr. Martin.
Yes to supporting states
Mr.
over
McGee.
infighting.
Mr. McGee.
Nay. Sorry, Mr. Martin talked over me.
Yep. I vote no. Mr. Koffel.
No.
Treasurer Redpath.
I'm watching the bingo card. It's good.
Mr. Thompson.
No.
I don't think Pat Ford spoke for more than 5 minutes straight, though.
Mr. Watkins.
Yes.
You need to check that Austin
No.
Martin spoke out of order. That's not checked on here.
Mr.
That
Ford.
needs to be checked.
What's the vote count, please?
5
It's
yes.
on the screen.
8 no.
I'll abstain. Thank you.
Ms. Robson.
Allegations of leftist
No.
of infiltration were made. That needs to be checked
Vice
on the
Chair
bingo
Dar.
card.
Let me see. My vote doesn't matter in this case. I'll abstain.
Mr. Vice Chair, the vote is 5 yes, 9 no, 2 abstention on the amendment.
That amendment fails. We're back to the main motion and the vote on that.
Give me 1 second, please, sir.
Somebody tell LP allies that they... Oh, you got Austin Martin speaks out of order. Where's the other one I said you missed? Allegations of leftist infiltration were made. That needs to be changed. First row. Somebody tell LP allies. Will someone stick the bingo card link in my chat? So everyone can follow along? Oh, Pat Ford passes.
Okay, we are on
that
to
has
the
happened
main
too.
motion, which is as submitted. Mr. Bowler.
Meeting has
Yes.
lasted more than 2 hours. That also happened.
Mr. Bost.
He'll be a no.
Mr. Bost.
I swear they don't.
No, out of financial concern.
Oh, you're not
Mr.
allowed to
Chatterton.
explain your vote. Stop it. Chatterton
No.
will be a no.
I'm going to come back to you, Vice Chair Dar.
Yes, please.
Dassing will be a no.
Mr. Dassing.
No.
Ford will be a no.
Mr. Ford.
And he'll try to explain his vote. Oh, he did it. Good.
Ms. Robson.
Pass.
Mr. Neville.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
He'll be a no.
No to more infighting.
Mr. McGee.
Aye.
I vote yes. Mr. Koffel.
Yes.
Treasurer Redpath.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Watkins.
He'll be a no.
No.
Vice Chair or Chair Nikela.
Yes.
Ms. Robson.
I abstain.
Vice Chair Dar.
And once again, it looks like my vote doesn't matter, so I'll abstain.
Mr. Chair, the vote is 8 yes, or Mr. Vice Chair, the vote is 8 yes, 6 no, and 2 abstentions.
Motion passes. I pass the
Vince-
gavel back to Chair Nikela.
Vincent would have been a yes. if
Mr.
he
Chair,
was there.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you.
Objection.
There's been a motion
Thank
to
you.
adjourn and second.
You guys
Thank
are
you.
so corrupt with your
You're not, hey,
pre-planning.
you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Martin, you're speaking out of turn.
You don't need to
Thank
mute me,
you.
sir.
Okay,
All
we
right.
can sentry all on the email ballots and deal with
Have
that.
fun. Mr. McMahon, please take it to an well.
Why are you
yeah,
working
no
with
doubt.
foreign governments, Mr.
Oh,
Chair?
shut the. Where's my.
Why are you working with
Mr.
foreign
Secretary,
governments?
please mute Mr. Martin.
Corrupt.
Wouldn't want to be accountable for minutes either, I suppose.
Corrupt and cowardly.
Shut the
Point
fuck
of order.
up.
Please bring the minutes.
Hey, listen, I'll start kicking everybody out that starts flying insults.
Because you're a tyrant working for a foreign government.
Point of order. Please bring the member to order.
So are you.
Point of order. Please bring the member to order. By the way, the special rule of order for these meetings was supposed to be 2 hours, but they've
Everyone
forgotten
just
about that
noticed
a
we
long
just
time
saw
ago.
the text on the screen for the motion to censor the chair for his conflicts of interest.
Mr. Chatterton, you're not recognized. Do not
Improper
speak.
governance decisions.
Please mute Mr. Chatterton.
You can't
Objection.
do that.
Stop muting members
Mute Mr.
without.
Martin.
Stop speaking out of turn.
You stop speaking
Mute
out
him
of turn.
again.
I haven't spoken a damn word.
Have a vote. Believe in voting? Election fraud?
We're voting right now.
Mr. Chair, I'm ready to take the vote.
Go ahead.
Mr. Bowler.
Yes.
Mr. Bost.
Yes.
Mr. Chatterton.
No.
Vice Chair Dar.
Yes.
Mr. Dassing. Mr. Dassing.
I've come up with a subject for Cultivar
Ford.
Onar if Mike wants to
In
do it.
honor of Mr. Dar, I don't want this to ever end, so I'll vote no.
Ms. Robson.
Yes.
Mr. Neville.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
You're a cowardly and corrupt little slime bag, each one of you on this committee, and it's disgusting.
What's your vote, Mr.
Fuck
Martin?
you.
What's your vote? Okay, no vote. Actually, I believe Mr. Bracco. Let me scroll back up to there. Mr. Bracco, are you voting for Mr. Dassing?
I assume so. If it will count, then I would like to vote no.
Mr. McGee.
And we might have a disagreement on it, actually, Mike, but we'll see. And maybe we're wrong. You know, I'm
I vote
always
yes. Mr.
open to
Koffel?
hearing that we're wrong,
Yes.
but let's discuss.
Mr. Redpath, Treasurer Redpath.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Watkins. Mr. Watkins. Is Mr. Watkins still here?
I don't see him.
Okay, Mr. Nikela.
Yes.
Point of order, potentially, Mr. Secretary.
Yes, Mr.
Can't do that in the middle of a vote.
Since per Region 1's agreements, since Mr. Martin is not voting and appears to have left the meeting, actually, could I vote in his place?
Yes, I believe that is in order with your agreement.
Okay, I will be voting no.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting the other mic ready. Oh, actually, this overhead mic will work for both of us.
Is Mr. Watkins in the room? Mr. Watkins? Okay.
He appears to have left.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chair, the vote is 11 yes, 4 no's.
All right, the ayes have it. We are adjourned at 9:41 p.m. Thank you very much, everybody. See you in Grand Rapids.
Keep all the corruption behind
See
the
you in
curtain.
Grand Rapids, folks.
You can't sue your way to ideological credibility, and IP laws are fake and gay, no matter who we're suing.
Fraud's fake and gay too.
Yeah, Chuck, I think that's what we're going to go over.
Gay is not an insult. There's nothing
fighting,
gay, please.
So is Octio law.
Fraud
What about Octio law trying to sue journalists for being journalists?
Fighting fraud
trying
is
to get them to reveal their confidential
and
sources.
covering for
Let's
it
not
is
say that things we don't
unlibertarian.
like are gay.
Yeah, like
Has everyone got their hotel room yet?
it's like
That's what I wanna know.
it's hilarious.
No, supporting and enabling fraud is unlibertarian.
So are we doing like?
I'm so glad I'm part
Yes,
of
that
a
is going
party
to be the
where it's just
subject.
full of adults who
The
know how to behave
LNC
themselves. It's
policy
so great.
manual has a little.
I feel like you're an adult by you.
Guys, Sam's lost it.
Cover for fraud.
Why do I have all system audio on?
So we'll be dropping.
There, I muted that. I think Mike's coming down. Yeah. So this is going to be a bit off the cuff because we're not prepared, but we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm going to be closing out this meeting. I need to go take another potty break. Need to get Mike. Need to get another seat set up down here. It'll be streamed on this channel too, but you could go check us out at Cultivar ONR as well. All right, going to close this one out. And yeah, so Angela's getting sued again. Good. Embezzlement is theft.
You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians or choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business, not because they want to